Hi, everybody. Good morning to those that are joining us from across the pond, and good afternoon to everyone that's this side of the Atlantic. Hi. Welcome to this, our third webinar Wednesday session, and thanks for taking the time to join us today. I'm Frank Deans, Partner Director for K3 Pebblestone and K3 Fashion in the UK and Nordic markets. I guess, oh gosh, I've been working in the fashion and retail market now for over 15 years, and about the last nearly 4 years now, have been working here at K3. And today I'm accompanied by Ali Breeman. Ali is our product manager for K3 Pebblestone. I'm sure a lot of you know Ali, and I'm sure Ali will introduce herself further. But you'll know that she's been working with us, or you may know she's been working with us and supporting strategic Pebblestone customers and partners now for well, she tells me well over 12 and a half years, and that's a magic number apparently, 12 and a half in the Netherlands, and maybe afterwards you can grab Ali and ask her why, but certainly well over 12 years with us, so welcome Ali, and thanks for your time today. I can see a number of names that I recognise through the attendees and some new ones as well. But I guess by way of introduction for those newcomers to the webinar Wednesday series, just a little bit of information. These are sort of monthly events where the session covers a specific feature or functional area within the K3 Pebblestone solution. And the idea of this forum is to encourage partners to join us to either refresh their memories on K3 Pebblestone or learn something completely new about the solution. And certainly before we get going today in earnest, I would encourage you to look out for our next invitation. The next session is planned for the 19th of January. Gosh, we're talking about January already, 2022. We'll do a bit of a deep dive into the pre-sales planning functionality. And also, please feel free to pass on the invitation to any of your colleagues to come along and join us in these sessions. It'd be great to get the numbers up. But if you don't, or you can't find an invitation, either drop me a note and I'll organise to have them sent out to you, or drop one through to Ali or to Kelly, who's our event manager today as well. So let me just drop on to the next slide, Ali. We'll get cracking just to make sure we're running on time here.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so we'll just run through a bit of the intros here. Ali will take on over the next few minutes and run through the product overview. And then, as you can see, we'll have a bit of a session at the end here. Now, you can understand that hopefully those times you see up there are Central European times. So you're just so that we can be clear with you. But if you've got any questions during the product overview, please just go to the you can hopefully see the chat panel on the right hand side of your screen there. Just drop your questions in there, and we'll pick these up as we go, and certainly we'll highlight on them at the end, at the Q&A slot. And of course, we've only got about 10 minutes for that section, and if there's any unanswered questions, then we'll definitely organise a follow-up back with you. Should also point out one of our housekeeping points. We will be recording the webinar today for those who have registered and perhaps couldn't attend today for whatever reason. And also, just a reminder, a link to the recording will be shared with you all via email, probably within the next couple of days, I would say. And of course, it will also be released via our YouTube channel. And there's a huge amount of information that sits up there on YouTube regarding Pebblestone, including the previous two sessions if you've missed them and you want to catch up on those. Today we're focusing on our manufacturing capability. Ali We'll explain how businesses can improve efficiencies through our light manufacturing features, where we enable businesses to handle various manufacturing scenarios through our assembly bill of materials features. Businesses can also determine the materials of ready-made items using this the BOM requirement worksheet, and that's based on either purchase or sales orders, and certainly saves a huge amount of time for their organisations. The other thing that we'll be highlighting, and Ali will be running through today, is that showing how they can seamlessly report on things like material composition, either for the colour or the size, using the BOM reports, and that again is all about speeding up reporting times. And I guess finally, Ali, we were talking, you'll be doing a little bit of comparison between the full manufacturing versus this light version.
Yes, that is, yeah, indeed. Yeah, sorry, were you finished?
Yeah, almost. You're kind of
okay, sorry, no, continue. Continue, but it's correct, Frank.
Yeah, no, that's super, Ali. So I'm just really a shout out again to everybody that's joined us. So thank you again. Really excited about bringing this latest episode to you all. Certainly this is an area we've seen repeated requests from the market for this sort of functionality in Generation 2. And really, without further ado, Ali, it's over to you to take us through the probably the more interesting parts of today. So yeah, over to you, Ali.
Okay, thanks, Frank. But yes, we will cover the manufacturing part of the solution, and I think it is good to show you some of the differences between the light and the full manufacturing. Yeah. With a couple of simple questions, you as a partner can find out if your prospect is a candidate for a light or a full scenario. For example, is the company creating production orders or purchase orders? Another important question is, does the company have the need for comprehensive material and production planning through MRP or MPS? Well, if both of those questions are yes, they are doing full manufacturing. If the answer to that question is no, it is worth investigating to see if light manufacturing could help the customer there. But that scenario I will show you. I have a couple of slides just to get the flow, and then I will dive into, of course, the solution and show you how that goes in the solution. On manufacturing, just to touch on what we have been adding to the standard Business Central functionality. Most of the whole flow is the standard manufacturing flow, but what we have added is, of course, the matrix. And we have added the matrix on the production bill of material, the production order, also the matrix there, the routing, the material consumption, the output and the production journal, planning worksheet, and the subcontracting worksheet. All those areas have the matrix on top of it. The rest, we rely on what Business Central is bringing to the table for the full manufacturing scenario. But let's take a look at what the manufacturing light scenario is all about. So the assembly BOM can be connected to an item and has been extended with the matrix, which allows to add materials in the correct color and size. With the ordered items on sales or purchase orders, all the information comes together within the Assembly BOM requirement calculation, which calculates the needed materials for the collection. To the needs for the scenario we see with the brand owners, which are partly involved in the production of the collection. But the actual production is done by a third party. It allows the brand owner to order, reserve materials which are needed to produce the collection. And there are two ways to get the output of the materials, the output of the materials. So that can be done by the Assembly BOM requirement sheet, but it is also possible to create the production or the purchase orders for the materials directly. And we also have some reports to support the whole scenario. But the manufacturing light scenario is divided over 2 different apps. So the first part is covered in Pebblestone, and the second part is covered by Pebblestone PDM. So if you want to offer your customer prospect the manufacturing light scenario, you need Pebblestone and you need Pebblestone PDM. So we have here the polo t-shirt, and we have 5 colors, and that polo t-shirt is available in 3 sizes, small, medium, large. And what we see here is that the fabric of the polo t-shirt is the same as, of course, as the polo t-shirt. So we have the inherent functionality, but I will show you how that works. The same goes for the yarn. So the yarn used for this polo t-shirt, if the polo t-shirt is in off-white, the fabric will be off-white and also the yarn will be off-white. And to use inherent functionality, which we also have in the production bill of material, you can quickly set up the bill of materials. But yeah, let's take a look at how that looks in the solution, because that is the most interesting part, I think. So this is the same t-shirt. And that t-shirt, as said, has 5 colors: the white, the pink, the salmon, the aqua, and the midnight. You also see another feature here. The composition of the t-shirt is different. So the white is made of 100% cotton, and the colored one is 95% cotton and 5% polyester. So just a feature also, we can have compositions based on colors. And another thing, what you see then is usually that the wash and care instructions are different, and that can also be set up. So you see here, the 100% cotton has a different wash and care instruction than the colored one. Just something as a side step. So item 5 has 5 colors and has 3 sizes. Also here you see that the weight of the size, for example, can be different, can be set up on size level. This is one of the examples we will be using. I have another one. And actually we are using 3 polo t-shirts, and those 3 polo t-shirts have all the same main material. So we see here the M 10009, and we see that also for this item. And this is the other polo t-shirt we will also use. One of the reports we have added to the solution is the product sheet. And the product sheet is just showing the information on the item card, which can be used to send to a vendor to say, okay, this is the item which is coming, and these are the specific fields on the item. So all these fashion specific fields are presented on the product sheet. We can see that this t-shirt is available in 5 colors, 3 sizes, and also you see the item faces here. And we see here some wash and care instructions. And maybe for the ones who are really paying attention, I was just showing you that we had wash and care symbols on color level. And in the new release, we will also present this on color level. But this is the demo environment, which is on the previous version. So that in that version, that was not there yet. So also the wash and care and the composition will be presented on the product sheet in the different colors and sizes. So that's the product sheet. This is the main item, the ready-made garments, but we also have materials, because when we are working with Assembly BOM or production BOM, we need materials. And for that, we have the item list, but then divided or separated by a check mark saying that it is material. And you see that all materials are presented in the same list. And this check mark makes it available on the material list. So that makes that the items are in the material list, and the products, the ready-made garments, are in this case, the seasonal item list. Okay, that's the item, and then the assembly BOM attached to that. Let's take a look. that polo t-shirt has a fabric piqué, a button. Well, actually it has 3 buttons, and for this polo t-shirt we need 1 meter of yarn. And just show you, we have the default size is medium, and we set up the usage per default size. So for the fabric, for the t-shirt, 1 meter is needed for the medium. We have 3 buttons. We have 100 meters of yarn needed for the medium size. We have 1 size label. We have 1 brand label, and we have a transfer print. And if we take a look at how that looks in the matrix, we have different views there. So we see that the fabric, what I said, the medium is has 1 meter, but maybe it's good to show you. We had set up the inherit function. That's one thing. And we also have set up a growth percentage. So for the medium, usage is 1 meter, but there is a growth value of 20 centimeters for the size bigger, so plus 20, or minus 20 for the size smaller. And the same goes for the yarn. 5% is the growth margin. So everything above the medium has a 5% extra yarn usage, and everything under the medium has a less than 5%. For the size label, the brand label, and the transfer label, we don't have any growth percentage or value, because all the t-shirts will get 1 size label, 1 brand label, and 1 transfer print. And every t-shirt gets 3 buttons. So let's take a look again to the matrix and the usage. And you see that for the medium, we have 20% less needed for small, and 20, not percentage, but 20 centimeters, and 20 centimeters more needed for the large size. And here is the 5% for the yarn, small, and for the medium, and the rest is as is. So that is the usage per size. But we also have the size overview. The fabric, buttons, yarn, brand label, and transfer label doesn't have a size, but of course the size label has. I want in the size, in the small t-shirt, I want also the small size label. We could set up even different materials per color if we have. So if a material would have different item number on a size, on color level, that can also be set up. And then the other thing is, of course, the color. Notice that we have the inherit functionality for the fabric and yarn. And you see that the off-white t-shirt has, of course, off-white fabric and also off-white yarn. And that is triggered by the inherit functionality. For the button, we have all the t-shirts have a transparent button. We have 1 white size label, and for the transfer label, the colors have a white transfer, and the white t-shirt gets a midnight transfer label. So that's the print on the front of the t-shirt. So this is for 1 item, and we also have created an Assembly BOM sheet for that. And this can be again shared with your vendor, so they know what the different components are for that t-shirt. So we have here the item number, the polo piqué with the print. It's available in 5 colors, and these are the materials for that t-shirt. The yarn, the button, the fabric, the brand label, size label, and the transfer label, and also the colors to go with that. So color information, color component information, size. Then we have the size label, of course, and the usage per size. The yarn, the button, 3 for all the sizes, the fabric, the brand label, size label, and the transfer print. So this is the complete overview of the components of that polo t-shirt. So this is one assembly BOM. For the demo, I have set set up 3 other items. I have this one, and what I did for this one is I just set up only the fabric, because in the Assembly BOM you can set up what you need. And I have said, okay, for this t-shirt I only want to know what the usage is per fabric, because in fashion mainly the fabric is the reason for products maybe not to be produced, because if minimum quantities are not met for the complete order, then the fabric can't be purchased. So that information is quite important for a brand owner to know all over the items if minimum quantities are met for fabric. So that's why I have this example only for the fabric. And when we can see in the matrix, we only can see that the usage is here for the fabric. And again, a growth percentage is there available. So this is another t-shirt, and then I have also a male version of that other t-shirt. First to the assembly bill of material, and then show you the report. Also, we have some other sizes here, and this is maybe a good example where you can see that the color. We have here a color of the t-shirt is teal, but the fabric color is blue. So the pink, these all are inhabit because they are the same, but you could also have that the steel is the item, the color of the item is called steel, but the fabric itself is called blue. So here you can set up a different color for this steel t-shirt. And the rest, the components here, the sizes again, and the usage. So what I did for the demo, I created sales orders. And I will show you. So I created 9 sales orders, and just an example. And these sales orders all have 1 or 3 or 2 of those products on top. So what we would like to do now is calculate the usage of the materials of those 3 items, 10,004, 10,007, 10,009, combined with the 9 sales orders we have created. For that, we go to the Assembly BOM requirement worksheet. And if we calculate the plan, we can see that we can calculate this plan based on sales orders or purchase orders. I did already the calculation on sales orders. We can have set up a starting and an ending date, normal setup. We can make sure that only the released orders are part of the calculation. We can also add this open orders, of course. And there are other filter options available. And this is the result of that calculation. And if we take a look at the fabric, we see that we need a small, nearly 2,000 meters. And we can also see that the number of meters we need per color. We have the button. We have also the number of pieces in buttons, and yarn, usually not so important because yarn is not a big, it's not so expensive. So usually they have that in stock, but we can also see that we have the size label. And the brand label and the transfer print we had in 2 colors. We had in midnight and we had it in white. So we see it also divided here. There is some more information here. We can see where, but if I go on the press where used, I can see that we have 3 items here. So those 3 items are using that fabric and are part of the requirement calculation sheet. Well, I said I have 2 ways to calculate the need or to present the usage to my vendor, and that is through a report, the Assembly BOM requirement sheet. And I can include the ready-made garments as a piece of information or exclude it. But well, let's add it to the overview and show you how that looks like. So the overview starts with it starts by saying, okay, it's based on sales orders, and we have ready-made garments as the starting point. So we see that we have the 10,004, and the total number of ordered pieces is this, divided over the different colors and the different sizes. The same for the 10,007. These are the number of pieces placed on the 9 sales orders placed. The next slide is showing the materials. To produce those pieces above, we need this in yarn. We need 3,700 buttons, but the most important thing is the fabric, because we see here the usage per color. And we have based this on 3 items. And we can see, well, the white is fine. If we would say maybe 200 meters is minimum to purchase from the vendor. So the white color is fine, the pink is fine, the aqua is fine, the midnight is fine, but the salmon is 24 meters, the color for that polo t-shirt, because we can't buy 24 meters of fabric. And the same goes for the orange. 50 meters is also not enough. But by calculating the materials based on more items than one, this is an interesting view, because you have not have that information by only looking at one item, because one item could maybe say you have 100 items ordered, but if that same material is used in 10 other items, the minimum quantity of that fabric can be met, and we still can produce those items. So this is really an interesting view of what we have here. So the other actions could probably be cancel of those t-shirts, the salmon and the orange color, and continue with the order, because yeah, this can be done. This is too costly because we need to buy the 200 meters of fabric. And also the transfer label can be, we can see here. So this is one way of looking at the information, and that overview can be shared with the vendor. The vendor can then start purchasing the material, or if you need to buy the material yourself, because that is the arrangements you made with your vendor, that can also be done. But that can be done through this overview directly, because there was also a button to create the purchase orders directly. We can see here it's open for purchase. Oh, I can place purchase orders for all these materials, and let's do that. And we can see that the purchase orders are now created, and we can see that 3 purchase orders are created. So let's take a look. And we see that the material here is placed on a purchase order. And we can see, well, for this one, we probably would say, okay, we are not going to buy this because this is not enough, and I will take it out of the purchase order. I could have also taken it out of the Assembly BOM requirement worksheet, but this can also be done. So, and then the order is adjusted, and yeah, well, that is actually it. And maybe to quickly go back to this slide again to show you what is sitting in which app. Maybe it makes a little bit more sense now. So the item, of course, the Assembly BOM, the adjustments on the Assembly BOM is part of Pebblestone. The ability to have materials is also part of Pebblestone. Of course, sales order creation and purchase order creation standard, part of the standard, and also part of the Pebblestone. PDM, the Assembly BOM requirement worksheet, so the calculation of the materials, that is part of PDM. The sheet, and also the other reports, the product sheet and the Assembly BOM sheet and the requirements sheet, that is part of PDM. And the material order, the purchase order materials creation, that is also part of the PDM part. So maybe I can have a look if there are questions. If you have, please let me know. I'm just checking. I don't see anything. Well, if you have questions, you will have my details. So drop me a line. I would like to thank you for your attention. I hope to see you in the next webinar, which will be about the pre-sale plan. And thanks. See you the next time. Bye.